most prominent beef that Youngboy was involved in during his rise to fame was with G Money. Real name Garrett Burton, he was a former friend and a star over at Youngboy's former label, TBG. Youngboy's other biggest opposition, Scotty Kane, would release the scathing Youngboy diss track NBA Smoke just days after Youngboy's cousin Boozilla got killed. And while Youngboy ended up in jail on attempted murder charges for attempting to avenge Boozilla, G Money was linking up with Youngboy's ops and building alliances to diss him. In January 2017, G Money linked up with Pablo El Chapo, one of the people who'd been in the studio when Scotty Kane allegedly stuck up Youngboy with a gun and made him cry. They would collaborate on a new Youngboy diss titled WNBA Smoke, where they referred to him as WNBA Youngboy and dissed him extensively. G Money would rap saying that he will send a blitz to take out Youngboy and his team for dissing him, as well as warning Youngboy that he will kill him for beefing with them. G Money also appeared on Scotty Kane's song Ain't Gon' Ride, where G Money rapped how he heard someone dissing him, but he can't kill them because they keep posting on Instagram. When Youngboy got out of jail, he dropped his AI Youngboy mixtape, and that included numerous lyrics seemingly responding to G Money, like the track Ride On 'Em, where Youngboy seemed to say outright that he's not squashing the beef and that he just talked to the devil, as well as saying that the only way the beef is going to end is if G Money gets shot. And he would go on to rap that he's dropping a bag on him and his crew and that they're going to ride on him and smash him. Youngboy was seemingly letting the whole world know that he was planning to pay to have G Money killed, and throughout the verses, he would make bold claims saying that he's going to get it by any means and that the beef is never getting squashed. He would claim that his rising fame had his rivals mad, and saying that somebody is going to get their head bust for making a diss song about him. Youngboy would also claim to be the reason that their friend got killed, going on to rap that somebody shot up his grandmother's house with a .22, but his shooters got back and sent the ops a special delivery from Youngboy. Now, it's unclear exactly who Youngboy is talking about having had killed here, but it could have something to do with a rumor that members from a TBG affiliated crew called TMH, or Too Many Hitters, shot up Youngboy's grandmother's house, with TMH32 later denying having shot up Youngboy's grandmother's house in his song FAN. Anyway, clearly G Money wasn't scared of Youngboy's counter-threats, so he would decide to turn the disrespect up to a whole new level. On August 15th, 2017, a sensational interview emerged where G Money seemed to be talking extremely recklessly about Youngboy, suggesting that they used to be homies, but pointing the finger at Youngboy, saying that he started sneak dissing him once he became successful.
So, I mean, do y'all have history? Were y'all ever cool, you know, years prior?
Yeah, that little like my little partner, he used to be like my little brother. He stayed with me and everything. Everything was still all good until he started, you know what I'm saying, like doing his own thing, getting him a little buzz, getting a little money, and he just got the big head and just started like in it, like the feelings he been feeling probably deep down inside that he was scared to put out. He let that out once he got a name and got from down here.
And then G Money dropped maximum shade by being very disrespectful about Youngboy's sister and saying that he'd slept with her.
He mad about his sister too though.
About his sister?
Yeah, I had her a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Initially, G Money and Youngboy would go back and forth on Instagram, with G Money making a post suggesting that he's not jealous of Youngboy because he's already rich and living where the white folks live.
I'm living like I'm already rich and I ain't even rich yet. And I'm living with the white folks. What's wrong with these niggas? Don't impress me, man. You hear me? I know real money, man. Don't impress me, man. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? Copycat. You the next you see me do, you wanna do, but you supposed to be up though.
Youngboy would reply with his own story, asking G Money why he doesn't like him, and saying that he doesn't like G Money and he's down to beef.
Saying, Dick, what you don't like me or something like that or rap? I'm saying like, what you got something against me? Say that damn man. Don't be on Instagram that in 2 different states. You know the real. Stop playing. What you saying? Huh? I'm about beefing. What it is? You hear me? You is. Get it. Don't you, man? I don't like you. I'm gonna keep on it. I don't like you.
G Money would reply saying F Youngboy and he doesn't care if he doesn't like him, going on to accuse him of copying his style by posting pictures with a Mercedes G-Wagon.
Much on like a it's not, you know, for you to like, you hear me? You know what I'm saying? Just copping off I pull up in that wagon, you go take a picture by a G-Wagon. Boy, you really my son. Stop watching me, man. Oh yeah. Get off.
Then, a few days later, G Money would officially go at Youngboy on wax with the scathing diss track Industry. G-Money's diss song Industry called out Youngboy and the whole NBA crew on a number of bases. It had those lyrics that seemed to hint that Youngboy had been the one who tipped off G-Money about his cousin Boozilla running off with drugs, and it had more lines seemingly confirming that he had hooked up with Youngboy's sister, putting maximum disrespect on him. He also dissed Youngboy for sneak dissing him, and as the title of the song suggested, it dropped shade on Youngboy for signing a record deal and no longer being in the streets, with G-Money suggesting that after signing this deal, Youngboy had turned Industry. The song also had another important lyric that seemed to confirm rumors that G-Money had actually had a price put on his head. G-Money even mentions Youngboy's mother, saying he can't kill him because he's Sharonda's son, indicating that G-Money knows Youngboy's mother well. He also called out 3-3 and Montana from NBA, saying that they don't want beef with him. G-Money also brushed off Youngboy's earlier suggestion that he could pay to have him killed, saying that he will kill anyone who tries them, ultimately declaring Baton Rouge his city. The music video for Industry also included a Chucky doll, which was actually a reference to an early Youngboy video called What I Was Taught that dropped way back in September 2016. But G-Money wasn't done there. The following month, he would continue to diss Youngboy, dropping yet another diss song, this time in a remix to Bodak Yellow, calling Youngboy a fake and warning him not to mess with TBG, as well as saying that Youngboy is hating on G over a woman and that he used to be TBG but switched up on the crew. G would also shade Youngboy for signing to a label, saying that by contrast, he got to where he was without a deal, as well as warning that he would be sending shooters to Youngboy's home. He would reference the NBA crew, saying that he thinks he's Steph Curry, referring to a player in the actual NBA known for his accurate shooting, and G would end the song saying that somebody tried to kill him but failed and got killed in return. It would seem for a while that Youngboy just wasn't responding, but G-Money would continue to go at Youngboy and the NBA crew any chance he got. In a September Instagram live session, he would continue throwing shade at Youngboy, mentioning that a Baton Rouge rapper got hot and left everyone behind, and saying that Youngboy is scared of him and his gang.
These rappers in Baton Rouge be hating anyway, you hear me? These don't be sticking together down here. So what the fuck I look like getting you? When you or do this and do that and do that, you ain't sticking with it. You. All these down here, man. You hear me? Most of these head of man. You see it, put your head down, nigga. And I can be by myself and you can be with 1,000, man. Yeah, for real. Yeah. If you ain't with us, you can't hang with my gang. And that's on God. Ain't no banging with the gang. I ain't tripping on no dissing on no none of that, you hear me? It's all good. But just remember, it was there for now. I ain't never do no fake hating that like us, you hear me?
G-Money would go on to diss Youngboy's whole family and say that he's TBG until he dies.
Like on everything I love, man. You, your mama, your brother, your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, whoever. Yeah, TBG Gorilla Gang, TBG till I die.
G would also claim to be respected on Youngboy's native Chippewa Street, saying that he pulled up with his gun and that people had tried to protect Youngboy.
I ran on Chippewa, man. You heard me? I'm respected out there. You know what I'm saying? I pulled up out there with a 38 when the whole chopper trying to save a. But I ain't gonna speak on it. You hear me? Way throwback. You hear me? 13, you know. 14, 15, 16. You know, throwback. Damn, man, who got a problem with Young around here? Now Young on the other side. Ain't crazy?
He would also diss Youngboy's team, saying that everybody in TBG is a boss.
How you be how he a boss and he got a CEO and all that shit, you hear me? You know, that bullshit. They got run them. Don't nobody run nobody over here. Everybody bosses. Yeah, nothing but bosses over here. Be looking at this because they got money, man. Y'all think real? Make no real, man.
G-Money would even claim that Youngboy got robbed and stripped and didn't retaliate, with his goons saying Youngboy won't survive a beef with him.
You ain't do nothing about it.
This boy stripped.
You stripped and you ain't do nothing about it. So how you think you could? So how you think you could tell me something? How you think you can go against me? How you think you can do that?
You won't survive.
Come on.
Clearly this was a very personal beef aimed at Youngboy and his crew, and at this point both sides have made outright threats declaring their intentions to kill their opposition. Now, it's been speculated that Youngboy's manager Big Dump might have had something to do with potentially putting a price on G-Money's head. And in September, G-Money would seemingly be posting disses to Youngboy on social media, all while giving clues as to his own exact location. In one video, G-Money, standing outside, would claim that Youngboy started rapping and became a killer after he got a record deal.
Say, Lil, you know you ain't living like that, man. You get a deal and you done turn to a killer. When you start doing all that, man, you know you ain't cut like that, man. You know TBG been your muscle, boy. And the same You talking about usually don't live in jail wherever they at, man. That's the man you ought to move on the city, man. Yeah, you remember Will? Yeah, Will's out there. And you remember you ran out that store, man. You know what's happening with us, man. You hear me? Real. And I'm living out shit, you hear me? Everything you got with a deal, I got without a deal, man. You hear me? You know, 30 plus on my with no deal. Yeah, for real. Driving in $100,000 coupes and shit, man. Yeah, with no deal, boy. You better stop playing and stay in your place, son.
If you watch that clip carefully, you can see a window with white bars and black shutters beside it, with the building itself having red brickwork and a black security door. In this clip, G Money is standing in front of a recording studio at the 1900 block of Dallas Drive that TBG were known to record at. This studio was also featured prominently in the music video for G Money and Boulevard Quick's song Set Trippin'. And this studio is the exact location where G Money would unfortunately lose his life. On the 10th of September 2017, G Money would be seen on Instagram at his usual recording studio working on music, seemingly recording a YoungBoy diss song with lyrics where he says that your favorite rapper is a liar. At around 1:30 AM, G Money would be found shot in front of that very recording studio that he recently went live at. Fat Chapo, who was with him at the time of the shooting, said that G Money was caught off guard by a shooter as he walked out of the studio.
I was the first out the door. I'm the one called for help. G walked out that door by himself. I told him before he walked out the door, like, he walked out the door on his own. And they start shooting. When they start shooting, I really didn't know what was going on because I heard a boom, but the music was playing, so it was kind of muffled. When as soon as the shooting stopped, I ran out the door. Nobody was I still never saw nobody, and I saw G laying right there on the ground. And once I seen him, all I could do was call 911, you know, try to get help.
Once police arrived, officers would be seen in the dark, taping off the scene and doing forensic work, and G Money would end up leaving the scene in a coroner's van, just like the one that he had showed in his music video Industry, where he said that he would put his ops on the news. And the following morning, the news would indeed report on this tragic killing.
Baton Rouge police are looking into a deadly shooting that claimed the life of a local rapper. Police say someone shot and killed 22-year-old Garrett Burton on Dallas Street around 1:20 last night. Burton performed under the name G Money. Right now, police have not named any suspects or motive. If you can help police or have any tips, you can report them anonymously to Crime Stoppers.
One of G Money's closest friends and fellow TBG affiliated rapper Fredo Bang, in a DJ Small Eyes interview, would recount breaking down in jail when he heard the news of G's death.
I just broke down in tears, like you know how a baby cry, and you know how baby cry just yell. I just sat there and locked up.
Scotty Kane would also react to G Money's death, even telling followers that he was getting DMs telling him that he would be killed next.
Man, I wake up to every day, man. My partner got killed in the morning. What the oh like that, son? Then it's sad to say, man. Talking about not even 25 yet. Like, come on, man. Like, it ain't that serious, son. Before I let you take me, dog, I'm slinging this. Whoever, whatever, and I don't care who love who, I'm going on my move. Get the on my DM talking about I'm next and all that. Man, I ain't worried about none of that. I ain't worried about none of that. Oh man, when it's my time regardless, but I ain't worried about none of that. Better stop playing with kill y'all, said I do not play by my life at all. I'm gonna step, yeah. I don't be, you know, yeah, I'm gonna die about it for real, you know.
The day after G Money was killed, it seemed that fans would attend the scene of the murder, filming the location and peculiarly finding a pillow on the ground. The presence of a bloody pillow at the murder scene would end up going viral, sparking a conspiracy theory that G Money's killers threw a pillow on him after the assassination and told him to go to sleep, with these rumors being further fueled by YoungBoy lyrics that came out later, like the song Step On, where he says, "Lay your bed, I throw the pillow, police after all of my people." And even in his recent single Bitch Let's Do It, where he rapped that his crew will creep up on their ops and and lay their heads on a pillow, with Youngboy even doing an impression of a dying G Money laying on a pillow in the music video. However, for the record, this is just a conspiracy theory, and some of the more sensible Youngboy fans would work out that this pillow was actually used by emergency medical staff that had attended the scene. But setting aside those rumors, once this went down, all eyes were on the NBA crew, but it would take years before the authorities were able to identify any of the people involved. DeAndre Fields, aka Lil Pap, or NBA Pap, actually the brother of NBA Ben 10, aka Ben Fields, who also got arrested for being in the car with Youngboy in that same incident after Boozilla's death where Youngboy ended up getting the 10-year suspended sentence for. Now, Pap was eventually arrested on second-degree murder charges in connection with the murder of G Money, ultimately being bailed around June 2019.
A lot of you are reacting tonight to the arrest of this man, DeAndre Fields. Baton Rouge police say they arrested him years after the shooting death of a local rapper, Garrett Burton. Back in 2017, Burton went by the name of G Money. He was found shot to death in the parking lot on Dallas Drive there. Police arrested DeAndre Fields for second-degree murder.
And initially, Pap would plead not guilty, but some interesting information would eventually be revealed to the police when they interviewed him after the shooting. He actually told police that he had left Baton Rouge with his mother and son, fleeing to nearby New Roads about 40 minutes away from Baton Rouge after G Money was murdered. As well as this, when asked about his whereabouts on the night of September the 10th, 2017, Lil Pap claimed that he drove to Hammond to get gas. When detectives later obtained his phone records, this claim was proven to be false, as his records revealed that he was actually in Baton Rouge on the night of G Money's death. But perhaps the most shocking piece of information that Lil Pap shared with the police, which I can imagine was a huge driving force behind his indictment, is the following. After police asked Pap who among his friends would shoot people for the NBA group, he replied, "To be honest, me." Now, it's worth adding that in Youngboy's very first album, Life Before Fame, all the way back in 2015, he basically admits that he can call on Pap to carry out what needs to be carried out in the streets on 2 occasions. Firstly, in the song NBA, and secondly, in the song I Know. Ultimately, Pap would end up pleading out on greatly reduced charges of accessory after the fact of murder and ultimately receiving a sentence of 5 years. Now, interestingly, Pap would go back and forth with the judge during his sentencing, saying that he is taking the deal, but he is 100% innocent. And interestingly, close friend of G Money, TBG rapper Fredo Bang, would later claim in numerous interviews that he did not believe Pap to be G's killer either.
Y'all started sending me that. You still sending it to me. I was like, you seen it? You seen it? Yeah, I seen it. Oh, he's making arrests. Might be wrong. A man ain't do that. Brown.
Do you know the guy that's being charged? You said that you didn't think the guy that they're charging with the murder actually did it.
G Money's own mother would also post on social media saying they still haven't found the shooter of her son and they're still looking. Whether or not you believe NBA Pap when he says that he had nothing to do with the incident, what is clear is that the NBA crew, and Youngboy specifically, would have the most to gain from G Money being no longer. And going forward, Youngboy and other NBA members would reference what happened to G Money in numerous songs and videos. The month after G Money's murder, Youngboy dropped his 10th project, Ain't Too Long, on October the 7th, 2017. This included a number of references to the G Money situation. Firstly, in the murder anthem Red Rum, where Youngboy claims that he just raised the murder rate in his city. And then, in the song Poor One, Youngboy seems to be talking directly to G Money throughout the song, alluding to the time when they had a friendship that was like a brotherhood before G Money betrayed Youngboy's trust by sleeping with his sister and boasting about it online. In the same song, and in the same monologue directed at G Money, Youngboy reveals that G Money introduced him to them boys who he didn't like for nothing. Them boys most likely being a reference to TBG. Before paying homage to his own fallen friends Boozilla and Lil Dave, Youngboy would seemingly suggest that G Money had blamed him for drugs that went missing, which caused the tension between Youngboy and his cousin Boozilla. In another song on the project titled War With Us, Youngboy talks about the sorry state of affairs in Baton Rouge, saying that one particular week he saw 7 murders and that there is no helping his city. This was a bold lyric that painted a picture of a city completely out of control. The war in the Baton Rouge rap scene had gotten deadly, and now one of the most promising artists in that city was in the grave. With Youngboy free of his main competition, going on to dominate the scene, releasing song after song and mixtape after mixtape, telling heartfelt tales of his first-hand experiences surviving in the trenches of Baton Rouge. But the biggest question remained. Was Youngboy just a rapper making music about the violent war taking place in his city, or was he really the murder man, running his rap career like a gang kingpin and using his NBA crew as muscle to stop anyone who dared to get in their way? If you found that clip interesting, please hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to watch the full-length version of this video, check out the documentary on my main channel, Trap Law Ross. And if you want the uncut version of that documentary with 30 minutes of footage I cannot show you on YouTube, then head on over to patreon.com/traplawross, where you can watch all of my best videos completely uncut for just $2. And if you want to keep in touch and get updates on the next documentaries that I'm going to be dropping, make sure you follow me on Instagram at TrapLawRoss. Appreciate it. Peace.